Good morning around the Diamond family. Welcome back for another amazing episode. We are excited for you to be joining us. As always, it is a beautiful Saturday morning. We are back from the All-Star break. Baseball is officially back and underway. We are in the second half. We got, what is it now? Another approximate 81 games to go, and we'll be finished with the season? Approximately? Somewhere in that range?
Most teams are about 72.
Yeah, we're right around there. But as always, Baseball Bill, how are you doing on this fine Saturday morning?
It's a good Saturday morning, and the Dodgers are in first place. So, what more do I need?
Hey, it is a tight race in the NL West. We will absolutely be talking about that a little bit on the show. Let's jump right into it. I will take the American League this week. We got the Rays still riding strong in the lead in the AL East. However, the Orioles are right behind. Only 3 games, and it is getting closer and closer as the season progresses. So I would really watch that. Shockingly, Yankees are now tied for last place with the Red Sox. And it's going to be interesting because the Red Sox are on a 9-1 streak. So anything could happen right there. Yankees really need to start stepping it up if they think they're going to take it, stay above the Red Sox in the AL East. And Blue Jays hold the middle of the ground. Twins, 500 record, leading the AL Central. Most boring division in baseball. I have nothing else to say about it. I'm going to leave it at that.
Drop the mic.
I'm going to drop the mic. And then let's move over to the West. Rangers are holding a 2.5 game lead over the Astros. And then it's kind of drifted off for the Mariners, Angels, and then A's. See you next year. In Las Vegas. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Mariners and Angels as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. And we will absolutely be talking about that more. That's all I got on the AL. Bill, anything you see?
So, the Orioles are only a couple of games out of first place. So, watch for them. Statistically, if you look on MLB.com this morning, the Yankees are in last place because the Red Sox actually have a better head-to-head record with the Yankees. So statistically, the Yankees are in last place, which, coming out of the break, that's unique to say. Who cares about the Central? With the exception of this glorious screen that you have on here with the Tigers are 10 games under 500, and they're only 5.5 out of first place, which is insane. If you're an Angels fan, I am so sorry right now. It feels like last season. It really feels like you guys are making a turn for the worst. And I hate to say that. When we get to the trade deadline talks, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that. That's all I got to say. I'm just dropping them.
Well, let's take us to the National League. We're highlighting a special team close to Bill's heart. Bill, take us through it.
There you go. The Braves can't do anything wrong. They won against the White Sox last night, 9-0. The Phillies are starting to make their move. The Marlins are kind of leveling off a little bit, and then the Mets are really, really struggling. In the Central, that's going to be a seesaw race. I still think the Reds are going to win that race, but right now I think it's a 2-man horse. It's the Reds and the Brewers. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants. Watch out. The Padres are starting to play a little bit better, but watch out. So Dodgers are in first place right now. They have a really difficult road trip. They've got the Mets for 2 more. Then they've got the Orioles for 3, and then Texas for 3. So, they've got to win some series there, and it's going to be difficult. The Diamondbacks are playing the Blue Jays right now, so we'll see how all that plays itself out. Watch out for the Padres. I do think the Padres are a little further back when it comes to the actual standings, not the wild card, where it's going to be difficult for them. But that's all I got to say. Sam, what do you got on this division?
Yeah, Braves really can't do anything wrong, but always watch out because these teams that just are superstars during the season, watch what happens when the postseason comes because for some reason they never seem to do as well in the postseason. I'm really shocked by the Mets, in all honesty. We'll get into it towards the trade deadline, but yeah, really shocked about that. I agree with you. I think the Reds are going to really hold that NL Central. I think this is just a matter of time before they really start to take a giant lead in that division. And then the West, in my opinion, I mean, it's always been my opinion, but I think now, after seeing all the divisions, I think the NL West is the division that everyone needs to watch because it is by far going to be the most fun in the second half.
Yeah, yeah.
All I got to say, keeping it short and sweet today.
Keeping it short and sweet today. I like it.
Yeah. Now, looking at some of these stat leaders, we always dive into this so much. Nothing really much has changed. Is there anything that's shocking to you on this?
Well, Zach Gallen and Spencer Strider now have their 11th wins. Nathan Obaldi is pitching very, very well. So that side of it, a little surprising. And then Blake Snell pops up on this thing for the strikeouts. So, I mean, besides for that, on the pitching side, nothing that surprises me all that much. No.
Yeah, I think the pitching side is starting. I do think we will have close to a 300 strikeout pitcher this year. I don't know if we'll have it, but I think we will come very, very close. On the batting side, I'm honestly very shocked we still have such high batting averages for some of these players.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of players are over the 300 mark when it comes to batting, and I think the pitch clock has really impacted that. But there have been some announcements that they're going to make some changes to it, so keep a lookout on MLB's side for that, especially as it gets closer to postseason announcements. I think that's
Yeah.
where we're going to see the real big change for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You're that great calls. Great calls. I like that.
Moving over to our stolen base leaders. So we ended this first half at an astronomical stolen base count. What do you think, Bill?
Yep. 1921. Yeah. Crazy number.
I
Um,
mean,
Notice we only went up 50 though.
yes, we only went up 50 in about
Yeah,
about 3 total games of play since the last episode.
that's true.
Um,
I wasn't going to mention that.
Bill, have you seen anything like this in your
No,
tenure watching
no,
baseball?
no.
Like, do you think this will continue year over year?
Yeah.
Or do you think
As players get used to the pitch clock, as players get used to the pickoff rules and things like that. Yeah. In fact, I think that even next season, we might have a shot for 4,000 stolen bases.
if we can hit 4,000 stolen bases, oh my goodness, oh my gracious, oh my goodness gracious. All I got to
Mm-hmm.
say about that. But
Mm-hmm.
Esteury Ruiz is really holding strong on that leaderboard, really trying to give Oakland something to grab towards as the season progresses. But Acuna, he's going to be that guy. And I did look it up. I mentioned I would do it last week. I did it. The 40-40 club. I made sure I looked it up, and unfortunately, I forgot who exactly the person was. But the last person in the MLB 40-40 club, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up for you. The last person was Alfonso Soriano.
Mm-hmm.
In 2006, was the last member of the 40-40 club.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So who knows? We might have a new member joining this year. It is highly probable we will.
Highly probable. I agree. I agree. As long as
Do
he
you
stays
think
healthy,
we'll
I
have a
agree.
50-50 club member?
Good. Very well could. Not Ruiz, but maybe Acuna.
That's what I was thinking. Ruiz isn't even on the top 50 when it comes to home runs, but when it comes to stolen bases, crushing
Somebody
it.
needs to tell the kid to bulk up a bit.
Just a bit. But let's talk about some home runs. Yes, we ended last half with 2,980 home runs, and in 3 baseball games, people, I'm not considering the All-Star game. I'm saying 3 baseball games. We went up almost 200 home runs. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Among 30 teams.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's
I don't even know what to say anymore.
no. I mean, you got 200 home runs 209 home runs difference since we shot last Saturday. So you had Saturday, Sunday, and then
And
you had
yesterday.
Friday. Yeah, 3 games, 209 home runs. That means that people were hitting the ball.
Like, I think we're gonna have. So I know we mentioned the stolen base count and how people are gonna adjust to that really good over the next couple. I think this one is going to really be the thing that people will monitor. I think stolen bases will start to drift off. I think the home run count though is going to drastically increase. That's just my call.
So I'm of that count. I'm looking up something like you did here. If I'm not mistaken, of those, just because it's such a unique thing, yeah. Oh, only one. Never mind. I thought there was one game that had 6 home runs. It turns out that it was not true.
Oh.
False news. Fake news.
Well,
Fake news.
hey, look, we got to check these things out. We got to be on top of it.
Verify, verify. So
Let our fans know. We can't read behind the eight. So
who's going to get on this board here, that leaderboard here soon, is JD Martinez. That kid is raking it in right now.
JD Martinez. Let's take a quick look at this. JD Martinez is currently 8th place on the home run leaderboard with 23 total home runs. Easily could make it into the top 5 within the next week or two. You guys do have some tough series coming up, so that's where it's going to be interesting to see how he comes out of the All-Star break.
Agreed.
So keep an eye. You're right. JD Martinez could be a new added member to this, but also Lou Bob is right on the cusp. Also got Arnaldez Garcia and Jorge Soler right behind him. So this leaderboard could, at least in my opinion, 3rd, 4th, and 5th could easily change in the next week. Easily go up and down. So keep an eye out. We'll be keeping you informed. Real quick, we're gonna touch on the injury report. Couple new faces out for the season, which really is only about 2.5 months, so it's really not much of a season left. But it's see you next year. No, see you next Tuesday for those guys. See you next year for these guys. Antonio Centales is a hard one, I guess, for the Rockies. Not really much that I know about him. Is there anyone on here? I think Dylan Tate might be the biggest. Dylan Tate and Luis Gill might be the biggest ones on here. Bill, who do you think is the biggest name on this report?
I agree with you on those names. The one I feel bad for is Daniel Hudson. This guy literally has had 2 Tommy Johns in his career, blew out his left knee last year in slipping in Atlanta, getting a bunt, and was out for most of the season, came back and was kind of lights out for 2 or 3 games and then hurt his right knee. And he's out probably, they say till September 5th, but there's a good chance that he's out for the rest of the season. This guy just keeps getting hurt, and they're hard knock hurts. Like, the guy was pitching so well last season and then went to go field a bunt and slipped on the grass between the mound and the first baseline in Atlanta and tore his left knee up. And now he's tore his right knee up. Like, it just hard knock life.
Real quick before we move on, how much longer do the Dodgers keep him moving in the big club before they say you're too injury prone, we got to trade you, or hey, we got to cut ties?
Well, he's a middle relief guy that can play as a closer. So I don't know that the Dodgers are going to really, if it were somebody like an outfielder or shortstop or second baseman, we're probably coming to that point, but we're not coming to that point. He's a middle relief guy.
You know better than I do. He's a Dodger, so I rely on you for Dodger information. So
you could have stopped at I know better than you.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But let's talk. Let's highlight this recent All-Star game that we had, Bill. It was it was a great week. It was a huge week. A lot of big things happened in this All-Star game. Vladdy and his son were the first father-son duo to ever win the MLB All-Star game. I mean, home run derby.
Yeah,
home run derby.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, Bill, what were your thoughts on watching it when you were watching it?
I did not think this was going to happen with the new format. With the new format where you have to swing like crazy and you've got 2 minutes or 3 minutes to swing and hit as many home runs as you can. They were giving Vladdy like they were putting water in the back of his neck like he was a prize fighter. I thought for sure there's no way this guy's going to be in enough shape to do this. Uh, Amazing. There were 341 home runs hit. And that was in a matter of about 52 actual minutes. So it was a great home run derby. Father and son duo, I love that. I was surprised at some of the performances that were good and some of them that weren't as awesome. But it was good. It was a good home run derby.
Who is your who is your biggest surprise flake, and who is your biggest surprise like highlight player?
Mookie Betts and Rushman. Rushman had a great first round.
I thought, you know what? I agree with you 100%. I thought Adley Rushman coming out there and not only swinging his first minute and 30 seconds from the left side of the plate, but then switching it over to the right side and dominating as much on the right as he did on the left, I thought was incredible.
Even more
I
so,
think
it felt like, right? Even
what?
more so on the right side.
Yeah, I think if he had played on the right side the entire time, he would have blown Lou Bob out of the water. I think no question. Mookie really did shock me. I was very, very, very surprised with his numbers. I really thought he was going to at least hit 20. Honestly, I thought he was going to 20
I
to 23.
I actually thought he was going to beat Vlad in the first round again because of the stamina. The way that it's set up, it's not 10 outs anymore where we have a 4 hour or 5 hour home run derby. It's based on time. And honestly, I thought just in stamina alone that there's no way Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets out of the first round.
Yeah.
But I was wrong.
He did it. Been 4 years since the last time he competed. So great to see it. Glad that he got it. A lot of people think he was cheated in the last one. So happy he was kind of able to redeem himself in this one. Hey, look, it's the home run derby. You got to give the guy their credit where it's due. But as we move on,
Hail the
it's been
conquering
11
hero.
years. 11 years. The National League finally won the All-Star game yet again. The last time they won it, the game actually meant something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just remember that.
Now make sure that you say your little statistic that you
I
said
will
before.
say my little statistic. I was
Go
going
ahead,
to see if
say
there
it.
were any highlights you wanted to give about the game or any performances that you thought
No,
were
say
great.
your statistic first. Go ahead.
The last time and the most current time the National League has won the All-Star game,
Sorry.
a San Francisco. Oh, I mean, it was the last guy in the National League West to pitch a perfect game in Matt Cain. And Camilo Duvall in the 2023 All-Star game, both San Francisco Giants. Thank you.
So all I have to say is this is what makes this show so good. You've got a Dodger fan and a Giants fan. And Sam is going to ride or die with the Giants. I'm going to ride or die with the Dodgers. So, giddy up.
We are the definition of top fan rivalry right here.
Exactly. And what we know is Sam's club has won 2 games that one of them didn't matter this year because there's no skin in the game. But that brings me to a question, Sam. Before we get off topic, we got to get to the next subject. But before we get off this topic, brings me to a question: do you want to stick teeth back in this game where the winner hosts or is the home team for the World Series?
Real quick, I talked about this with my dad the other day, actually 2 days ago. And as much as I liked it, I agree with them changing it only because it's not fair if you're the best team in baseball and you make it all the way to the World Series and you don't get home field advantage because your division didn't win the All-Star game. You're relying on your division. You're putting everything in the 25 players that are coming to that or more, or however many players, 40 players, whatever it is, to beat the other team. And then you have to maintain the best division in baseball. I think, it was great when they had skin in the game, but I understand and respect their reason for changing it because, again, think about it. If you're the Dodgers and you have the best record in baseball at the end of the season, but the American League wins the All-Star game and you now only get 3 games at home, how upset are you going to be?
Amen. Amen.
So
I
I like that it meant something, but I understand and appreciate the reason for removing it.
I agree. I there's other one caveat to this. I don't want to see anybody get hurt in the game. I want it just to be fun. It's
Yes,
for us. And so
agree.
when it means something, you play it like a game. You don't see guys tackling each other and laughing and
Yep.
stuff like that because then they're all serious. I will
Yes.
say this though. Can I make a very unpopular statement probably?
Well, I mean, we are the kings of unpopular statements, so it's not going to be a shock.
If you don't like my statement, those of you that are listening, please unfollow Grand Slam Sam. No, I'm teasing.
We
Um,
don't we don't
yeah,
li- we don't read rude letters. We delete rude emails. You can
exactly.
tell us our baby's ugly, and we're just gonna throw it in the trash.
Here's the thing. I hate these jerseys. I wish they would go back to wearing their own jerseys.
Okay, okay, I respect that because I did like how they used to have to wear their own jerseys. However, I don't mind the jerseys. I actually liked them this year. I was very
Nah.
in. I I appreciate the thought of going old school, and I think it would be great if they did like kept allowed each player to do like an old school jersey feel. Well, I mean, kind of what they do is what I would think. I like their jerseys. I really do. I thought this year's All Star Game jerseys were really good. I think it really depends on the team. Here it is. Here's what I'll say about it. I liked it when they wore their own jerseys and they just put the All Star patch on it. However, I think depending on the team that hosts the All Star Game, it can really make the difference between how their jerseys look. Because think about it. If you have a team, if you have if you have a team that has a great color scheme, and then because that's what they did, they went off of the Mariners color scheme. If you have a team with a really good color scheme, you can make really cool looking jerseys for the All Star game. If you have a team with a
So we'll
really bad color scheme, though,
Yeah, so we could fix this real simple. This is the MLB marketing department saying, watch this. We're gonna make millions of dollars from people buying all-star jerseys. So here's how you fix this. Make everybody wear their own jerseys, their team jerseys, right? But if you really want to up your marketing. Make them wear their throwback jerseys. So make the Astros wear
ooh,
those old school Astros 80s jerseys, like
ooh,
have them wear their throwback jerseys, but they're still the
that
team
all
because
about that,
you
all
know
about that.
that would win. Like this is a marketing ploy, right? Everybody's running out and buying these jerseys. I saw that they were the colors of the Mariners, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fun, but I'm not going to run out and buy this jersey. This is an MLB marketing thing. Make these guys wear their old school jerseys. Make them wear their throwback jerseys.
That's fair. That's fair. I can respect that. I can respect it. But real quick, we got to give Elias Diaz his recognition, bringing it home for the National League. 2-run home run. I believe it was in the 7th inning. Great shot. Congratulations. After getting cut by the Pirates 3 years ago, he came back, became an all-star, and was the MVP.
Yep.
Kudos to the man. He is the definition of showing what hard work gets you. Now,
Yeah.
this is a very fun topic that Bill and I have been excited about. We kind of teased about it last week, but we are 3.5 weeks to the trade deadline. So we're going to run through real quick on who our biggest buyers and sellers are. So, Bill, go through your selections here.
Buyers, Giants, Dodgers, Yankees. I know that sounds cliche, but Dodgers need an extra bullpen arm. They need possibly a starting pitcher. Giants, likewise. The Yankees have a lot of firepower, but again, where they're struggling is on the bump. They've had a lot of injuries as well. The Nationals, Rockies, and Cardinals. all see you next year. Teams, they're going to sell to try to make their team better for next season. The sad part is the Rockies and the Nationals don't even look like they're rebuilding right now. And so that's why I put these categories in the sellers. Rumor rumor has it, and I hate rumors, and I'm not going to talk about Shohei Ohtani. We'll do a segment as we get closer. But rumor has it that the Padres are going to be moving Juan Soto potentially to the Yankees after what Derek Jeter had said that they need to do. So, anyways, there's your buyers and sellers. What do you think?
Who do I think are buyers and sellers?
Yeah.
It's quite interesting because I think I agree with you. I truly believe the Giants are absolutely going to be buyers. I would love to see them get another starting pitcher, Shohei Ohtani, and definitely I'd love to see. They need to work on that in that middle infield, primarily on the second base side. A lot of their guys are natural shortstops or third basers, so they need a natural second baseman to come in there and can really play it. Tyro Estrada has been playing great second base, but he is actually a shortstop by natural. Yankees, I agree with you. A lot of firepower, but there's just something that they're missing, and I don't know what it is. I actually saw a very stupid trade idea of trading Volpe for Shohei, and I was like, there's no way that trade would ever happen because the Angels would lose horribly in it. And honestly, I'm going to say the Mariners. And the reason why is because the Mariners have a lot of potential and there's a couple of pieces missing. Now, I don't think this is going to be setting them up for a deep postseason run, but I think they're going to be buyers to get to the wild card, and then that they're going to piggyback off of that going into the offseason to really showcase it. On the seller side, though, the Cardinals have to sell. They don't really have a choice. They are well below expectations. The White Sox have been openly saying they are willing to trade the house. And I believe there's only two guys that are safe, and that's Lou Bob and Tim Anderson. Those are the only two I don't think they're trading. And then the Angels. The Angels, above all the teams, I think, out there, need to sell more than anyone. They have got a lot of star power, but just can never get over the hump. They need to make that transition. And then I think they need to kind of clean house in certain aspects to make it happen.
So we've only got 2.5 minutes left on the show. So I'm going to say this real quick. Somebody reached out to me that was an Angel fan and said, we've had Ohtani, we've had Trout, and we're not making it to the playoffs. It's time for that experiment to end. That was an Angel fan. He said, go out and get whatever you can get for Shohei, and let's consider trading Trout at the end of the year. Trout's got a big contract, though, so I don't know that that's going to
happen. I don't see Trout being sold. I believe he has a no trade clause in his contract, so he has to waive it. I agree with you. I see the Yankees making a heavy push to get Shohei, especially to cover out that left field corner, because he's not going to go to right field. Judge got that locked up. But yeah, I see the Trout Shohei test has failed, and I think honestly, the Angels should sell house, clean house, and trade for as much youth as they possibly can.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but they're going to need to do something.
Yeah. So, Bill, you have a fun-filled podcast schedule. So run through it.
Val and Philip are going to talk about stadium food. They're going to make you hungry Monday morning. Dylan's Guardians fan. He's new to the clubhouse. Ricardo's new to the clubhouse. He also is a Padres fan. He's got a lot to say. I got 4 Yankee fans on. I'm sure they're going to have some things to say. So kids, don't listen to that episode. You might learn some new language. And then Kenny and Jordan, father and son, going to talk about the game on Friday. I'm sorry.
And then in the leagues?
Yeah, Ricardo's coming. Danny's coming. We're going to talk a little bit about that. That's going to be awesome.
It is going to be a fun-filled weekend. We have a new watch party. It is going to be August 18th. I might make special guest appearance. I think I'm just magically going to appear. We'll see what happens. But that is going to be Friday, August 18th. Yankees or Boston at Yankee Stadium. It's gonna be at Scores on Canal Street. You don't want to miss it. Bill's gonna be there, and he has got some awesome merch specifically for this watch party. So you don't want to miss it.
Oh,
On
you don't
top
want
of
to miss
that,
this.
as always, keep a lookout on TopFanRivalry. There are always new articles. There are always new podcasts, and there is always new merch. Bill is pumping out of there. Bill, you always cease to amaze me. You have now custom jerseys? Is that what I'm hearing?
TopFanRivalry custom jerseys, yes. And they come in multiple colors. You see the red there, but they also come in orange, Giants orange, Astro orange. They come
Giant
in
orange, not Astro, giant orange.
Yeah, they come in Dodger blue. I mean, there's a number of different colors that they're going to come in. And yes, I actually have some in-house as we speak, and they're awesome.
Oh, can't wait to see them. I'm excited, and I'm hoping I will eventually be on a trading card. I'll have my people get in touch with your people about that design. We'll talk. But as always, around the Diamond fans, we thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out next week. We will have more on the trade deadline and what is coming up in the second half of the season. Bill, any final comments? Any final words?
Stay cool. It's going to be a hot one this next week everywhere.
Oh, yes, it is. I completely agree. As always, around the Diamond fans, we will see you on the field next week.